All right. Good evening, everyone. This is our second lecture on Cognos Analytics, and this is going to be recorded. All right. So here is the agenda. We're going to talk about dashboards and in dashboards mainly. We're going to talk about stories, and we're gonna talk how you use Cognos Analytics for your last assignment, which is going to be the group work. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. So do you remember last time we used claims and weather data that stores the customer information, including where the customer lives, right? And it's storing the vehicle that customer drives, the type of insurance policy that the customer has, type of accident, right? And we use that information to estimate the total claim amount, right? So today we're going to use the same data, but we're going to do more with it, right? But before we do that, we need to quickly review what data pre-processing we did. As you may remember, the data had some missing values, right? There were a lot of rows that were missing effective date, and if effective date was missing, it was missing some other fields, right? So what we had to do is we had to create an embedded filter to filter out the rows that do not have the effective to date. So we had to specify the condition, the expression, effective to date is not missing. We had to do that. Then we decided, just for business rules, sometimes we want to look at the personal vehicle, right? Vehicle size is small, personal policy type. Sometimes we want to look at just subset of those claims. So we created the selectable filter, the filters that we can turn on and off, right, in the visualizations. Then we realized that some of the columns still had missing values, like income. What we did was we replaced the missing income values with column average. Similarly, we did monthly premium, right? We replaced it with a column average. The only thing that I added here on this slide is a round function, because I did not like how it looked like, bunch of decimal points. It's possible to use a round function and you specify the number of digits after the decimal point, right? Then there is a video where I showed you how to handle the column called claim reason. Claim reason column has some missing values. If the claim reason is not specified, you're going to treat it as other. So that was the pre-processing done. Then we also did a little bit of data grouping, right? This is just a review, just a quick recap on where we stopped, right? But then we also looked at data explorations. So if I go in here, if I go to my data explorations, right, that's a data exploration workbook. If I click in here, of course, you see some limitations. So what are the limitations here? Data exploration is a set of cards, right? We created it and we use that to just get familiar with our data, to get our findings. What exactly has an impact on the total claim amount? How do we estimate the total claim amount? We did that, but this is not something that you're going to present to your manager or to your customer, right? You need something that's more presentable, if you will. There is no way to modify the fonts, right? Like, see, this is blue. There is no way if I want to make it pink. I don't have that option here. There is no way to select one data point on one visualization and make the same data point to be selected on other visualizations. That's not an option, right? There is no option to show transitions between this cards. So in other words, this is not something that you're going to present. There is no way to add text, etc. So this leads us to the next topic for today, which is dashboard. What is a dashboard? Why do we create those? We create dashboards to present insights about our data. So we use the visualizations and put them in an attractive layout. Visualizations have properties, but the properties that you have depends on visualization type. Like pie charts, for example, will have one set of properties, right? Drivers analysis visualization will have another set of properties. Then, unlike the exploration, you may add text, you may add widgets in addition to just visualizations. You may reuse the visualizations that you created in other dashboards or explorations, and I'll show you how. This is what you will have to do, right? Your assignment 4 is a continuation of 3. You will have to reuse the visualization, some of them. Then you may toggle between view mode and edit mode. Then you may create the calculations. You may add the calculations straight to the dashboard. But remember that if you add the calculation to the dashboard directly, it will not be available in other dashboards where you use the same data source. So if you want your calculations to be available in any dashboard where you use the same data source, you need to add the calculation where? To the data module, right? So just remember that. Then there are two types of dashboards. So, but how do we create the dashboard? First, we need to locate the data module that we created, right? And we have data module from last time. So I'm going to go ahead and close this data exploration, and I'm going to find my data module. It's this one, right? It's still on my recents. So what I'll do right now is I'm going to click here. That's one way, right? And I can select create create dashboard, right? So that should be one of the options here. Alternatively, if I don't see it on recents, I can go to my content and I can find in my content claims and weather data module, right? And I can click here and I can select create dashboard. That's gonna, now it's giving me two options. What are those? Top dashboard and infographics. Infographic is just a long page where you lay out all of the visualizations obviously on the same page. You cannot break the visualizations into tab. You cannot do something like you would do in a top dashboard where you can filter each tab separately. Top dashboard organization is organized in the tabs. You can split because sometimes you may have something called like a subtopic, right? You may look at the number of claims per state. Well, you may look at your data per state, then you can look at your data per car type, etc. So you can split data into the logical visualizations of the logical subset. You can apply filter to all tabs, or you can apply filter to a single tab, right? But remember, both have predefined templates, and I spelled it out for you in here. So tab dashboard versus infographics, but remember this: both are interactive, both have predefined templates, and you can change your visual appeal. That's the main purpose. But another reason why we're going to use tab dashboard, because you may save tab dashboard as a story, which is a later topic of today's lesson. Okay. Now you have the predefined templates, but one thing to remember is this: you have freeform and you have out of the box. Out of the box, those are predefined, but those are going to resize based on the size of your monitor, let's say, right? They use relative positioning. And each little square or rectangle, whatever you call it, it's called a panel, right? The freeform doesn't have a predefined design. It's absolute positioning. The area is not divided into sections. But big problem is freeform does not resize. You may have to use the scroll bars. You may need to scroll, right? Now, remember, you have different templates, but the more you put on your page, the longer the page could take to load, right? So for me, I love 2x2, and I'm going to stick with 2x2. Right? I like this one. I'm going to stick with this one. But for your assignment, it's going to be your choice, right? But this is my favorite because you still have your 4 panels, and it's not going to take as long to load as I would pick the one here. See? So I'll just do this, click OK. So that's a template. Now what do I see? Well, that's my data. Remember that. That's the data claims and weather data. I see my data groups that I created here. I see my scissors, what is this? That's a calculation. I created average claim amount by policy, and this is another calculation. It's a standalone calculation. See, I see that here, and that's what is this? This is a filter, right? Selectable filter. But if I did not use a descriptive names, there is no way to see how that's defined, right? I would have to go back to data module to see. Each column, similarly to what we looked at last time, each column has a little icon, and an icon represents a column data type, all right? So see this little ABC, right? And that's like a numeric, average claim amount by policy, etc. See? So you got that here. What else? What else do you see here? See, I've got my 4 panels here. Those are the filters area, which can be opened and closed, right? This area can be closed too. Keep that in mind as you're taking your screenshots, that you can resize the panels. Here, you can close the panels, rather. Close this. Okay, now, what you did not see before was properties. You did not see that. Then another thing is that these 2 buttons, undo, redo, the latest change, right? That one was not there. I will go over connections later. Now I'm gonna go ahead and click on the properties. For this here, you can specify different properties, whether you want to see the grid, which in this case I do, right? You can specify the layout positioning. Those are the page widths, right? Then these are the properties for the tabs. I want to show tabs, then I want to show the title color. I want to show the tabs title in red. See, it changed to red. Then, if I selected my tab, I want to show it as green. So this is a tab selector indicator, right? Those are just the properties that we can change. And I'll let you play around with the rest. But this is just to show you what's available. And those are the colors. If you want to, you can change color palette. You can change the background color, etc. Now, another thing that you can do, you can add another tab. Do you have to stick with the same layout on another tab? No, you can choose the different layout. I'm going to stick with the same because I just like it. I just like to buy two. Okay. But at any time, if you don't like the tab layout, what you do is you click on this tab name. You click on this, well, this one here, it will edit, you will edit the title. Title is editable, right? This one here, you can duplicate, you can make a copy of this tab. And this one here, you can change the template. At any time, if you don't like the template, you can edit it, right? Very important, I forgot something important. What do you need to do to make sure that you don't lose your work? You need to save it. So, when I click here, I'm gonna go and select Save As. I have to select where my content, right? And let's save it as total claim dashboard, right? All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and save it. The dashboard is in the edit mode because I have properties, I can edit it, right? Now you might be wondering, so what? How do I add visualizations here? Multiple ways. One way is to use pins. So I'm going to go back right now to the welcome page and I'm going to reopen my explorations. See this claims and weather data exploration? I'm going to reopen it. And I'll show you what I'll do now. And I created the detailed video about the pins. Okay, I have detailed video on how to search those, etc. So here I have total claim amount by marital status. That's my visualization, right? Suppose that I want to add these visualizations to my dashboard. How can we do that? Well, I can add this to pin. I click on pins. Whenever I add it to pin, it's going to show here, right? Pin is nothing but favorite. In other words, this is favorite. I added something to favorite. But if I deleted my earlier data exploration and I added things to pins, those pins are going to become invalid. So keep that in mind. pins will become invalid if I deleted my earlier explorations. Okay, so here, this is claims and where's the data exploration. Do you see this? I just added this here, right? And if you have a lot of pins, you can search this, you can filter it. You can see only pins that you added today, and etc. You can see all. See? Because as you keep working, you're gonna have more stuff, right? So now what I'm gonna do, I'm not using back button, remember? I use this menu here and it shows me what I have open. I'm going to total claims dashboard, and to add the here, see this? I just open my pins and I drag and drop. So that added the merit. This is a marital status, see that? And I have my visualizations, but I can also edit the properties if I want, right? I could not do that earlier, but here, remember, someone, me, was getting tired of the blue color. So I can make it a green color. See, there we go, right? Then if I want to, I can also add, so that's a chart. I can see those as a chart visualization. You can disable padding. You can show the value labels. See, like labels. Well, etc. You can change how things appear. You can change the, well, I changed the color, right? Then the general property, it's basically, it's mainly this little tile property. I want to add border. Okay, I can add my border here. See, now it's showing the border, well, etc. I'm gonna let you play around, but I just showed you what you can do, right? Another thing, what you can do is you can add visualization from where? From here, from visualizations. For example, I want to add a pie chart. I'm going to drag and drop the pie chart here. Now remember that those are called what data slots? If you see the asterisk, it means the data slot is required. I have to specify a column in here in order to see my visualizations. So what I'm gonna do is I want to show number of customers, percentage of customers per state, right? Remember, the pie chart is useful to show the percentage of something. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna select each segment. I want it to be the state. And for each slice, I want to show the number of customers, right? But how do I know that it shows me the number of customers here, not the number of claims? Well, I click here, I go to summarize. What is it doing? It's showing count distinct. So if I'm doing distinct, it's just gonna tell me how many customers. It's not gonna count the number of records per state because the same customer may have multiple claims, right? So what does do? It will do count distinct. It's gonna give me number of customers in each state. Right, so I got that. Now you can minimize it. I'll close this. But am I done with changing properties? Probably not. I can do more here. So I'm gonna go to my chart. But remember, I told you that the main purpose of the pie chart is to show the percentage. At the moment, it's showing the numbers. So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna display percentages. If I want to, I can make it appear as a donut. See that? It's going to show the radius here. I can also add the title, right? So let's see. It's probably in appearance. No, never remember. Okay, well, I can add border here. I'll get to the title eventually. Okay, so you have that. That's oh, so visualization. You can change the color. You can change how the legend. See this? I'm showing legend at the moment, right? Oops, never remember it, but I will find it. Okay, so legend position is automatic. That's what I did. In general, you can choose fill color if you want. Oh, show titles. There we go. Okay, and I can enter my title like percentage of customers, right? By state. And here, see this So title bar, I can change the properties of my state. Like for example, well, I can change the font size. I can do it in the title bar, on that little bar, toolbar, or I can also do it in here. See that? It shows up. I can change the font size, right? I can change it here. Then I can make it bold, perhaps. I can make it layout centered. All right. I've got a lot of options in here for the text. I can change font if I want, etc. Right? So you have text details, you have general, you have visualizations. But the text details, it appears when you turn the title on. So now I'm gonna save the work. I saved it, right? Now, next thing is, okay, let's go back. Well, I showed you this piece, right? I showed you the interface of the top of this dashboard. We're looking at the top dashboard. I showed you at the dashboard properties, such as you can change the top colors, etc. Let you play around. So we're talking about multiple ways to add visualizations. I added visualizations from here, right, from visualization library. Another way to add visualizations is to use our little friend over here. Remember, it's also available in here in it's also available in the dashboard. See, that's my claims and weather data module. I've got a bunch of columns here, right? I can click on a column in here. Like for instance, I want to find the total claim amount, that one. And here you can see what influences, right? Here, oh, that's some interesting fields. So you can look at that, and you can also look at what influences. See, let's see what influences total claim amount. But because here there are going to be some nice visualizations. So let's do this. Let's try claim reason. See, that's my visualization, total claim amount by claim reason. And if I want to, I can put it on the other tab, right? So that's gonna be, I can go to, oh, I'm on tab 2 right now. Then I can go to put it on the tab 1. I just drag and drop. See this, I hover over this arrow because I want the size of visualization to be the size of this panel. There we go. That's my visualizations. Once again, if you're tired of blue color, you can change color, right? You can add titles and you can add the borders, etc. Right? But if you want to take a screenshot, you're probably gonna close these panels, etc. That might be a good way to take a screenshot. Another thing that you could do is you can duplicate this. Oops, here, right? There should be, hold on, selected here. See that there is a way to duplicate. I duplicate this. I drag and drop the duplicate. Now, suppose that I want to change this visualizations. I want to do the other one by the state, perhaps. So what I can do, I click here. This takes the visualizations to the focus mode. And here, it's going to show me the fields that I'm using. At any time, I can remove the column and I can put something like a state or state code. Right? Each bar is going to be the state, see? So basically, I can create new visualization just by taking existing one and editing the columns that I see, right? So this is for the state. And again, within the state, I can do something like this, like education. I want color by education. See what this is going to do now? Right, for each state, it's going to split it by education. See that? So you can do a lot of stuff in here. See, now I'm going to minimize that, right? And again, I can change properties if I want to do that. That's properties. The available properties depend on which visualizations you have currently selected, okay? So the general, you can change how things appear, right? Such as the border color. And if you border color, if you want to, you could add the fill color, but you need to keep in mind that you want your visualizations to be readable. So I'm gonna go with no fill for right now. I'm just gonna keep it white because you want to remember that you want to make sure that the dashboard is readable, right? Sometimes, sometimes based on the font color and background color, sometimes it's difficult to read. Like for example, if you have a blue, I would not do green on blue, right? So I've got that piece, right? Oh, and also another thing is this. Look, I have this selected, right? Oops, I can unfilter. I want to clear the filter for now. See this? I can click here and it's gonna show me what data is being visualized. Very similar to what you have seen before. I can see what data I am visualizing. Then another thing is you're not limited to using one data module in the dashboard. You can use multiple data module. But remember this, when you select one data point, right? When I selected one data point, it will select the same data point in other visualizations, only the ones that use the same data module, okay? Remember that. So I've got this, right? I have these visualizations here. Now what we'll do, I minimize that. So I've got two tabs, right? First tab and a second tab. Then I could add more visualizations. See, another way to add more is just, you can just do this. You can drag and drop straight here, and this will show the states, right? So this one, it's showing the state, but see, the problem is here, if I go, this is that's a properties, but I need to click here to take it to the focus mode. Well, but it's useless because I did not specify what I want to color it by, right? So I can do it location color by the income. Then I need to make sure that I'm doing correct summarization. It's average, excellent, because I set it to average where? In the data module, right? If you set this summarization to average in data module, then you're good. It's gonna work well everywhere else, okay? That, I'm gonna save that. I'm intentionally using state because I want to use state on both tabs just for the purpose of filters demos that I'm gonna about to show. So see here, oops, okay, that's the second tab, this is the first tab, right? Why does it show in here if I edit only to the, oh, it's because I have it selected. Now let's unfilter it, unfilter. Okay, so that's tab 2, this is a tab 1, right? Another thing that you can do here, you can add widgets such as text, it's in here. This is a text, and the text is gonna be something like, I love data 610. So see, this is my text. Well, and then here I have text properties. I can change the font size, right? Or I can make it even, okay. Well, that's a font size, but then you have to make sure that you don't need to, see, you want to make sure that the font size that you select, right, that you can actually see that within the text box, that the text is visible, right? Then here you can select how you want this to appear. Oh, look, you have to have the text selected. There we go, now it's bigger, etc. And you can change the color, you can change the style, alignment, etc. So there's a lot of stuff you can play with. Another important thing is for the images, you cannot copy and paste the picture. You have to specify the image URL, right? So for example, let's say if I can do something like, I can type something like car accident, right? I'm gonna search for the pictures, and you can search for images, right? That's a Google Images, and perhaps I want to add this picture, the picture of car accident, right? So what I have to do is I have to find the image link, right? So I copy this image link. First, let's see if the link works here. It has to be .png, something like that, right? Let's see if it works. Oops. Oops. I do Control A, Control V, right? Oops. Control A, delete, and I try to paste. It did not copy. You need to copy the image link. I'm gonna try that again. Oops. Something is going on here. But what you do is you cannot, remember this, you cannot copy and paste the picture. So I go here, this is a picture, and I have to copy the image link. Then I go here and I paste my image link. And let's see, it's supposed to open the picture. See that this is a picture, right? So I have to take this image link. Then I have to go back to my Cognos Analytics, right? Now I can take this, see, I can drag and drop this image here, and I'm gonna paste the URL. Paste the URL, come on. Here we go. Now let's see, it's supposed to refresh, it's supposed to show the picture. Okay, that's how you do it. Enter. Sometimes it's a little bit acting out, so I have to give it a little bit of time. Oops. So now, if it's wrong, so what you can do, you can go in here, you can always edit it, right? I go Control A, I can select it, delete this, and replace. It's a little bit slow right now, not sure what's going on. It was working perfectly, now it's slowed down. It could be the bandwidth sometimes. But you got the idea, right? You just specify. You need to specify the, you have to specify the image link here, right? So let's see, I'll uncheck it. Do you guys can still see my screen? Something is going on here. Okay, I close this. I close this. I'm gonna close as many things as I can now to save a little bit on the bandwidth. Don't like when it does it. Okay, oops. Adjusting screen resolution. Okay, all right. I'm gonna show you later an example where it is working, okay? Sorry about that. So let me see, Control A. All right, so basically you have to specify the link, just know that, okay? You cannot copy and paste the image, so let's go ahead and save it. Now, Cognos is acting out. It did not happen before. Oh, looks like it signed me out. Okay. Your dashboard has been saved. Okay. Now, what you can do, oops, it kicked me out from the see this, it kicked me out from the VDA. I don't know why. All right, how nice, huh? In the middle of the demo, it kicks me out. Not like when it does it, but well, what can you do? Oh yes, oh yes. Okay, that's a second factor authentication. That's what it's doing now. Okay, so it hopefully it still works. Okay. Now I'll try to save it and I'll try to close it. It does it only for the faculty. It does not do it for the students. Thanks goodness. You guys are lucky. So you see that I can save it. See? Okay, while it's trying to do that, let's go with slides. I showed you how to aid visualization. That's a visualization library, right? And the visualization properties that you see available depends on visualization you're looking at. This is just the pie chart property. I discussed that, right? And you can add the text widget, and I created a video for the text widgets, and I created a video. On that video, I showed you the text widgets, and I'm showing you the images and also the videos, right? So we have that. Adding an image is not cooperating now, but you just specify the image URL, right? Okay, that's saved. I'll just exit it out. Okay, and I exited out. So let's be positive that it's gonna work right now. All right, and for the faculties, you saw it's a two-factor authentication, so, okay. Now, this is adding an image, right? You just specify an URL of the image on the web. Okay, all visualizations are linked, and I forgot to show you the filters, but I will, I promise. So now let's look at the linked visualizations then. So this is a connection demo. I created a separate demo for this. So here it is, right? So as you can see in here, I have one tab in this dashboard. And what happens is if I select Missouri, I have all my data filtered for that state. If I have all widgets connected, right? Missouri, I selected it. I should see all my data filtered for Missouri. All 4 visualizations in this tab, because I'm using the same data module to create this visualization, to create this dashboard. I'm using the same data module. How do I know this all visualizations are linked? So I click on the link. Oh, more. Oops. So now it's giving me more problems, right? That's to see. Oh boy. Oh, I see what's going on. Right now, I'm in the view mode. I need to go to the edit mode in order to see this menu. See this? This is a view widget connections. Right now, I click on it and you see all my visualizations belong to one group. See? When I select one data point, it's the same data point is selected in everywhere, right? Because it belongs to one group. But sometimes there are situations where I want to break it. For example, at the top, I want to see one state, and at the bottom, I want to see another state, right? I want to do comparison by state. How do we do that? I click on this visualization here, right? And I want it to be broken. So over here, I can just do break links. So this is now added to its own separate group number 2, right? So whenever I go back and when I change the state in here, right, the state is not chosen here. I select another state here. It does not affect the state that I choose upstairs, okay? It's independent. But what can you do also? You click in here and you add this to the group 2, right? I want this to be linked with that visualization right now. Well, so for example, I can select Nevada, right? And it's supposed to select Nevada in 2 visualizations. I hope it's not acting out again. So see here in this visualization, I select one data point. Then I can select another state in this visualization. Oh, I have to exit this out, see? Now it's gonna work. I click Oklahoma in here. So this visualization is gonna be for Oklahoma. And at the top, I have Missouri selected. So that, why am I doing that? That could let me do the state-by-state comparison, for example, right? So I want to know, does state have an impact on the total claim amount by vehicle class? And you can see pretty much, yes, it does. For the luxury cars, you can see that in Oklahoma, average claim amount for the luxury cars is higher than the average claim amount for the luxury cars in Missouri See that? Two-door vehicles are about the same, but it mostly, the impact is SUV and a sports car a little bit, right? And a luxury car. You can see the big difference, right? Then you can add more than one state, right? And select a different value, right? This is very useful for comparison if you want to see side by side. Now, if I'm tired of this and I want to unbreak it, so what do? You click on links, then you click here, and you want to do this add to existing connection. I'm adding it back to connection 1. Click here and back to connection 1, right? Add existing and connection 1. That's it. I just undid my changes, right? I unclick it and I can save it. So see this? Everything that I select here will be selected in all 4. See? That's what it does. Right now, I'm going to close this and I'm going to go back to what we were looking at before, right? So if I don't remember, it's in my recent, right? So let's see that one, right? Car insurance dashboard. Let's see if that, no, that's not it. That's something that I'm going to show you today as well. So that's, okay, that's not it. That's total claim dashboard. There we go. Now let's see. I was smart when I saved it, right? Image is still incorrect, but, well, okay, I have to enter the edit mode if I want to change something. And I would have to just go to the properties and paste the URL. I'm not sure if I still have it in my clipboard. We can try it, but okay. When I do that, oh, I see why. Do you know why it's acting out? Got it. Because you cannot do copy and paste directly from. I have the scar thing opened on my local machine, but this is what? This is the VDA. You cannot do copy and paste back and forth. That's a problem. This is why I got a problem, because you cannot copy and paste between local machine and a VDA. So what you have to do here, you have to go back here and you have to search for an image here, right? So let's say I want to do car insurance. I want to search for the images. Okay, not now. And I'm gonna go here for the images. So this is a picture, right? And I can go here and I can do a copy image URL, right? Copy link address. Now I go here and that should probably work, right? I can select, or let's do this. We can just delete this image. I can just delete this and add a new one, right? That should work too. But see this, because when you do something wrong, it's very difficult to fix. So please do not try to copy and paste directly something from your PC into here, because it freezes up, as you saw it, it freezes up the whole thing, right? It freezes up. So let's delete this and let's edit again. I'm gonna go back here as a widget, and I'm gonna go back. I'll add this image here, and now it should work because I copied. Oh, the URL is invalid. It's supposed to end with something like, the URL is supposed to end with something like PNG, right? So sometimes it's going to take a while to get this. So if I take this and if I copy this URL here, right? So this is a source. Let's try this, and we can do, let's see, copy image address. Let's see if it's gonna do it now. Control A, Control V. Yes, it should do it now. See, right? I have to copy image. I have to copy image address. So that's did it now. I go back to my Cognos. Oops, here. I go back here and I should paste it. It should work now. See that? So I have to open image in a separate tab and then do copy image address. So that worked now. Thanks goodness, I got that to work. But the reason I had a problem before is because you cannot copy straight. You have to either search for this here, or you have to use the clipboard. copy and paste from your local PC is prohibited for security reasons. So now I saved it, right? I was going to show you filters next. So you have this area here, filters. So how do we add a filter? There are two types of filters. There is one that you can apply to all tabs. And to do that, you're going to have to go to your date, your fields in here. And suppose that I want to filter it by the state. I drag and drop my state here. And I want to see only Iowa and Kansas. And I'm going to click OK. That will update all visualizations accordingly for just two states. See that? Now, when I go to the second tab, I'm going to see this update as well. Why? Because I specified that I want to apply the update to all tabs, right? And I see this filter here. Right now, I'm going back to the first tab. And what I could do is I can just remove, I can go delete filter, and I can apply filter only to this tab, state, and let's suppose I want to see Missouri and Oklahoma. I click OK, see, it filtered. But when I go to my second tab, it's not filtered because I applied the filter only to that tab, right? See that? I don't see the filter here because I applied it only to the first tab, see? And when I no longer want to filter, I can delete, right? I can delete my filter. That's it, right? I save it. So I went over this. Next thing. So we went over visualizations. Now, this is leading us to the next topic. What is a story? Story is a narrative, right? Note here that I have a bunch of tabs, but I didn't specify the transition between tabs. I did not specify the timeline where things are visible and not visible, right? Like, for example, suppose that when I load the page, I want to see only the first two images, right? Something like that. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I prepared more detailed example for you. And I believe I also uploaded a copy of that file to the shared folder, right? So let's see, claims and whether it's car insurance dashboard, that's what it is. I open it up now. I have 5 tabs in here, and I intentionally keep the number in here. So that's the first tab, right? Right now we're in the view mode. So I added this is just the text. That's an image. So if I go to the edit mode, see that this image has a property and specify the URL. I don't copy paste pictures here. I specify the URL of an image on the web. So here I have average claim amount, and I plot it right by the claim type, and I have a plot here by the car type. That's just the education level, etc. Right? And then I have this. I plotted these distributions by the state. Then I have this one was assignment 3 work, right? Where you created data module, you created the visualizations, right? The model. This is a decision tree visualization, sunburst visualizations, driver analysis. This one is you showing the average claim by locations. Those are the different. This is advanced, like if I click here. What I did here, I specified that I wanted to do the color by gender, right? That showed me the nice stacked column plot, not a stacked column, etc. So I've got these visualizations here. Now what I want to do, I'll show you a way to cheat, how to create how to create the story. We're gonna create the story from this dashboard, right? So this is what you can do, and this is what you should do for assignment 4, but do it only when your dashboard is completely ready. See this option, save as a story. The story has different templates also, guided journey and a slideshow. Slideshow is basically like a PowerPoint slides, if you will. Guided journey, it's going to use the same canvas for each slide, right? For each page, for each scene. That's called the scene. Here, it will use a different canvas for each scene. So let's see. I'm going to select the slideshow and explain more differences. I'll show you everything, but I'm going to do select right now. Right, select. Now I need to specify where I want to save it. By default, it's going to put this prefix story, and then it's going to take the name of your dashboard. See this? And I want to open the story after I save it. So I'm going to click on save right now. What is this? So this is a story, right? So what actually the stories are, it's an overtime narrative. It's when I select the slideshow, this is familiar to what the PowerPoint is. It's an animated presentation with visualizations. And you can specify when things appear, disappear, right? You don't need to actually export the visualizations. You can just create it here, right? You can configure the properties. You may add new visualizations. But to create the new story, you can just do from scratch. Just select story from the menu. And you would need to specify the transition style. And you would need to redo everything from you can do everything from scratch if you want to. But if you want to use your time effectively for assignment 4, you're going to create the dashboard first. Then you save your dashboard as a story, but only do it when it's ready. And I spelled out the differences. So here, each scene is on different canvas, and the guided journey, all scenes are on the same canvas. Both you can configure when objects appear, disappear. You may change the scene durations, apply filters, add animations. But what is scene duration? Well, let's look at this here. First of all, right, each tab in the dashboard becomes a scene here, right? So select here. This is a scene, right? I can click on my scene here, and every scene has what? The timeline, right? So I click here, I click here, it's gonna open up the timeline for the scene. This scene has 4 objects, right? 4 visualizations. And this is what the seconds. By default, the scene length is 5 seconds. So, but I can change it. See this one, the second object, I just drag and drop the edge to show, to specify when I want to see it. So when I play the scene, I want to see the second object after the first 2 seconds, right? Then here, suppose that this one I want to see longer than 5 seconds, I can just expand it. See, I can just drag and drop. It's going to expand the scene duration, and I specify what I want to see for 6 seconds, perhaps, right? I expanded this. Okay, do you see that? Right now, if I was going to play this scene, let's watch what happens. So here are 4 objects. Let's play this scene. See, not visible, shows. The other 2 will disappear, and this still shows. See, I just previewed my scene. Okay, so that's one main difference. I can also specify how I want the transitions to be between the scenes, right? And if I want to, I can also add new scene. So let's minimize that. So see that if I wanted to add scene at the end, absolutely. See this, I can add this, and then I can specify the templates that I want to use, and etc., right? Those are the placeholders. I would have to work and create stuff from scratch, right? Now, if I want to delete this, you click here and you delete, right? I'll let you play with this, but also note, you have filters. You can apply the filter to one scene, and you can apply the filter to all scenes if you'd like, right? Then you can go here, and I want to do this. I want to play all scenes. When I'm doing the preview, right? I want to play all scenes when I preview in the view mode. Now here is general. Those are the properties. I want to do the slideshow, and I want the sweep transition. So let's see what it's gonna do. Switching to the view mode, right? So right now I'm gonna play it. Let's see what's gonna happen. So that's the first scene, 5 seconds. It's going to go back to the second. See this? That's a transition that I specified, and see how the visibility goes. I specified when I want to see this, see this. You saw it, right? Here I didn't specify anything, which is why it's not showing anything, but I just previewed my 5 scenes, right? There we go. But I forgot to do something. What did I forget to do with this? Save it, right? I always must save it. Otherwise, I'm going to lose my work, right? If I get kicked out. Hopefully no more. Okay, so I've got this. So this is a story, right? I can also change my layout here. So I need to go back to my edit mode, and I go back here to the properties, and I want to do the guided journey now. And you can select the layout. I like this layout. Okay, so now this is in the edit mode. Why do I like this layout? Because see this, it shows all your scenes. It's very convenient if you want to submit the screenshot, right? So what you could do is you could actually take a screenshot of this, but you have to minimize this. See this? Those are all my scenes. I can just take a screenshot of this if I was going to submit this, right? Because you have to show the instructors that you actually created the story. See, I can just take a screenshot of this. Very easy, right? That's the reason why I like this guided journey and I like this layout. Another thing, notice that in here, well, you would have to select this. What is this? This shows you all scenes, right? You can show all things in the beginning, and here it shows all things at the end, right? So this is very convenient. I like this. And we can look at the other properties. Well, it's just the story type and layout. This one is show all scenes at the top, which I want to do that, and also show all scenes at the end. So you can play around with other properties at your leisure, right? But I showed you what can be done, and again, to add visualizations, you can use Assistant, you can use Visualization Library, etc. There is a lot, right? If I was going to show all of it, we're going to be here until tomorrow, until morning, right? Now, so we've got that piece here, right? This is just showing the interface, right? So you could also do this. If I close this out, this is going to be the long way that I was talking about earlier, where you can go, where you can go here and you can select new, story, you can select the layout, just showing. Then what you could do is you would have to specify the data source that you want to use, right? So like here, and perhaps I want to use this, you want to edit, and you would have to add all of your visualizations from scratch, right? But note that as I edit the data source, all the calculations that I created in data module are available here, right? Just wanted to show you it's all available. Not going to save that. This was just a demo. Close without saving. Next thing is, okay, so this is a slideshow interface. Showed you that piece. This is a timeline. I showed you that. And also I created a video where I show you the stuff again on the timeline, right? Well, here it just shows you how to export the dashboard as a story. We did it, right? So, well, and there are some samples. You're not going to submit this for your grade, right? But when you look at the team content, you have some samples here. Those were pre-installed, right? And you can look at the sample stories, right? Here, you can just play around with this. Sometimes if you're really stuck, you need some ideas, you can look at that. But what I also did for you, if you go here, this is called walkthrough data. And what I did was I saved the copy of the dashboard. I saved a copy of the car insurance dashboard for you, just so that you have it, okay? Well, it was per student's request from last semester, and I just kept it in here. So you have access to the dashboard that I showed you, so you can save a copy to your folder, to your content area, and play around with it, okay? Next topic is going to be very interesting, that all of you might be waiting for. Group projects. Assignment 5, it's an opportunity to work with a team. So somewhere in the end of the week 9, you want to stay tuned for announcements, because your instructor is going to tell me which groups you're in, and I'm going to do some setup in Cognos Analytics. I'm going to set up the folder, shared folder for your team in a team content. So let me show you something here. If you go to the team content, right, you have this data sets, right? This is a data for assignment 5. Well, you have 5 choices. You can select any of these 5, right? But instead of saving to your content area, you're going to be saving to your team content. And what I did was, let's make an assumption. Suppose that I'm taking session 9040, and the professor put me in a group 1. I'm enrolled in a data extend session 9040, and the professor put me in a group 1. So I'm going to see this. You don't see it now, but you're going to see it once you start working on the group assignment. See this? Oops. Let's go back. This one, assignment 5 group work. You're going to see this. You're going to click on this. Then you're going to see this. See this? So this is the folder for your group, right? And this is an enrollment semester, and this is a group folder. Well, and you will be able to save files in the folder, okay? Hopefully I set it up right, because today is not my day, as you saw. But take a look at this. You're gonna go to data sets, right? Data for assignments. Then you're gonna go to assignment 5, right? So what I do recommend is that in your group, you want to select the leader, right? And the leader should be able to copy the file to the folder. Everybody has access, but you want to select the leader so that you agree what you work on. So this is a cars data. And what I want to do is, right now I'm in a data sets folder. So what you need to do, you have to do copy or move. And in this case, you would be moving the data to the team content, right? So see here, those crumbs here show me where I am currently at. I have to go here, here, and here. And I'm going to go to copy to, right? That works. That was copied, right? Not move to, but copy to. Okay? There we go. I just copied. So basically, what you're going to do is, as a team, decide which data you want to choose out of those 5 for assignment 5. Then you want to select the group leader, right? One person will lead the group, and the group leader will go to the data sets and will copy the file into your team folder. Group leader will also do this. You go back to your team folder, you will see assignment 5 group work. That's an enrollment semester. This is the team that I'm in. Note that I should not be seeing team 2, right? I should be seeing only my session and the team where instructor put me. So this is my team. I see this file. And what I'll also need to do is I need to create data module, right? And I'm going to save it as cars data module. So where is that? Okay, save as cars data module. All right. Now, where am I saving it? I'm not saving it to my content, right? I need to save it where? Assignment 5 group work, my enrollment semester, and my team, right? I saved this. There we go. Now I have this, right? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close this out. So this specific data set is to predict the car efficiency. you have several options here. You can select car efficiency for the highway, you can select car efficiency for the city roads, or you can do the horsepower. There are three options for the target here, all right, in this specific data set. So now, I told you that this is a group work, right? So it means that I'm in a group with somebody else. Well, how do I know? Another way to test that you have access to the folder, see that when I click here and I see this one is my preferences, it's in my preferences, then I should see this is advanced, and I should be able to see my capabilities. It's going to show you what you have access to, but see here my roles. And in here, you will see your role. Everybody has analysis user's role. All authenticated user allows you to log in. This one here, this group is a group for the assignment 5 that you're going to be assigned to. Everyone, it means everyone in data 610. So this gives you access to the team folder, right? So this gives you access to all of the samples and data sets, all right? But there is someone else in my group, right? So how do I, what should I, what I wanted to do is I want to show you that this indeed works, right? So right now I'm logged in as a demo 2, I'm gonna sign out, and I'm going to sign in as demo 3, right? Well, I know that demo 3 is in the same group as demo 2. I configured it, right? So I'm just gonna, okay, let's do that. I sign in. So now I logged in as demo 3, and if I go to the team content, I should see this folder, assignment 5 group work. I should see this, and I should see this, right? Right now, see this? I see this. This is a data module that I just created, and that's a car data. Now what I'll do, I'm gonna create an exploration, right? So I'm a teammate too, right? I'm a teammate. Why not? Why I can create an exploration, just add something. Just anything. I don't care. I just added this, and now I'm gonna do is save it, right? Save with car exploration. Save as, and I'm gonna put, where do I save it? I want to do assignment 5 group work. This is a folder for my team, right? And I'm gonna do something like cars exploration. Right? I save it as cars exploration, and I'm gonna click on save. Well, see this? Because we are in the same group, so I have access to the same thing, right? That user has the same permissions as demo 2. In general, same permissions and same group membership. So now, if I go here, team content, right, I see this. I see it, that I saved it here. Now what I can do, I'll just go back, right? So now I'll log out and log back in as demo 2. Sign out, and I'll go back as demo 2, and I'll show you that I see the explorations that my teammate created. Okay, go back. Now what? I go to the team content, assignment 5 group work, see this? And I see this exploration. One thing to remember is this, I close it, right? I should. Every time when you exit, you have to close everything that you have open. Also, you can share files. 2 people cannot edit the file at the same time. Just keep that in mind, right? So even if you log out, you still, if you left the file open, you still have a lock on it, and your classmate might not be able to edit that file. So please remember to close all the files, do yourself a favor. Another thing is that this is set part. So I have my exploration, right? If I delete this data module, my exploration is going to be invalid. There's no way to fix it. Or if I delete the cars, my data module will be invalid and my exploration will be invalid. It's a sad story. One of the students deleted it, but the good part is that they took the screenshot. But the student accidentally deleted it on a day when the work was due. So that was big ouch, but they have all the screenshots that they needed. So they were all set, But please be very careful with deletions. Okay? That was a group folder, and I showed you how to save to the group folder. I do have a video on saving the group file, but the video was created in earlier semester. Keep that in mind when you watch. Okay? So you would need to go to your enrollment semester. If any of you have taken the course in the past, I did not delete your access. You might still have access to your old group folder, right? Make sure that you're using the current group folder for this semester. Okay? This is just how to access the team folder, just an example, right? Those are the steps to copy the files. Deletions cannot be undone, remember? So poor guy. Oh, and another thing I can show you this, since I'm logged into Zoom, what you have to do is for your last assignment, you have to create a small presentation. It has to be 5 to 10 minutes. So one of your options to create the recording is to use Zoom. You can select somebody on the team to create a free Zoom account. Free Zoom account lets you for up to 40 minutes, but trust me, your presentation is not going to be 40 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes is a good length, right? So what you will do is you're going to schedule a meeting with yourself, right? So let's see, I'm going to go to my Zoom account, sign in. So see, this is my university Zoom account, but I'll show you something. So here you have your scheduled meetings, right? You can schedule a meeting with yourself, attend it, and record, right? But once the meeting is over, this is what you can do. You go to, there is a tab here called recordings, right? So this is the tab called recordings. When your meeting is over, you'll wait for a little bit. The time it takes depends. It depends on it's gonna depend on the recording size, recording length. But yours should be no more than maybe 10 minutes, right? So after the session is over, you're gonna see all your recordings here. So for example, here I did something for data 650, right? So when I click here, when I click on share, actually, right? I click on share. Here is a link that you're gonna give to your professor for grading, right? And you're gonna copy this password too. So you click here, this password becomes visible. So this is a link that you're gonna give to your faculty and the passcode, okay? So somebody on the team needs to create Zoom account. It's free, right? You don't need to upload a video to YouTube. You can just share this link directly with your faculty. Nobody else has access to it. So don't worry, okay? But in here, you will just copy that link and the password and submit it with your assignment, okay? Well, with me, this is the UMGC. Well, but you don't have UMGC Zoom access, you would need to create free account, right? For the presentations, you can choose. It's your choice. Or maybe choose one team member to present all. Because, well, if you do 2 or 3 people, then you need to make sure that you work through transitions. Transitions must be very smooth, okay? Focus on the main stuff. If your presentation is more than 15 minutes, then something is wrong, right? You want to be concise, you want to be to the point, all right? But for me, it could take a couple hours to get the recording because that one is more than an hour long. It depends on how long the recording is, okay? But I showed you a little bit of the Zoom part, right? Let's see, do we have questions, guys? Guys, it's your turn to ask me questions. I love questions, you know that part, right? And I recorded this session. As you saw it, it was saying Protestant recording. So there will be recording. Hopefully you will get it tomorrow because it takes some time to process. It's over an hour. Any questions for me, please? Come on, guys. If you have questions, ask. It's your opportunity. No questions? Everybody is good? Okay. If everybody is good, then we're going to end the session. Well, let's see something in the chat. Oh, okay. Thank you guys for attending the session. And I guess if there are no questions, I'm going to stop the recording and I'm going to stop sharing. Sure. Most welcome, guys. So I'm going to stop recording.